Ryan, we're back here. Had a great salad. Everyone had a chance to taste it. It was great. Keeping with our theme of having kind of a Northwest flair, access to these things in our kitchen. Tell me what we're doing next.
Well, we're going to go with the chicken dish. Everybody always has chicken on hand at their house. And we're actually going to do a rosemary marinated chicken breast, a little bit of garlic in there as well, and then we're going to serve that with boiled baby red potatoes and broccolini and a balsamic reduction.
Tell me what broccolini is. I've never heard that before.
Broccolini is actually, you can find it pretty commonplace. Any store, Albertsons up the street carries it. It's a mix between broccoli and Chinese kale. It's got that bite of asparagus, but then it's going to have the background of broccoli flavoring in there.
Well, it looks really yummy.
Excellent. Well, let's get started. And we had a touch earlier on finesse, and so with these potatoes, just to make them look a little extra pretty, we're going to take and we're just going to peel a stripe down the side of them, and I hope you'll help me with that one. Just a vegetable peeler at home works great.
The racing stripe, I like it.
Exactly.
Very nice. Okay, I'll work on that a little bit. I've used a peeler before. I'll try and keep it out of our dish. Very nice.
And as you get that, I'll get the balsamic reduction going. This is just regular balsamic vinegar, very commonplace in the store, but when you reduce balsamic as opposed to any other vinegar, it thickens up and it gets a great flavor and a great little plate decoration gloss for it. This pot back here we have reserved for the potatoes. I'm just going to drop them in there and start that boiling.
I can turn that on for you.
Thank you. Well, if you wanted to grab a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then we'll just pour those on top, and then we'll chop some garlic, just a little bit, a teaspoon, a little more, perfect.
Okay. Very good. This is a common theme, Ryan.
Oh yes.
Salt and pepper.
Everything we do.
Okay.
With our garlic, we'll usually just squish the side of it, because if you start chopping on it, they'll shoot off the cutting board, so we just take them. Give them a squish like that, you're going to break it up, and then there's a couple.
Okay, you made quick work of that, Ryan.
And then we'll just add these into our chicken as well, and if you give us a stir. Okay. Great, well next we can dredge the chicken in our flour over here. We're just using all-purpose flour. Anything's really great, it's just going to give us a really light breading. And while we're waiting on our pan to heat up right here, it's going to take a little look at our balsamic.
So that's been on here for now 20, 30 minutes.
Exactly. The balsamic, you won't want to rush it too much. Right now we're a little bit higher heat than we normally would go with, trying to finish it off here. A good way to check your balsamic, get a spoon, just get some balsamic, pull it off the heat and just let it hang out here for about 30 seconds or so. Now you're going to know it's done by it's going to be thickened and it's going to have almost a syrupy consistency to it. This one we're at a medium to high heat. Again, if it doesn't sizzle when it hits the pan, it's not hot enough. This you could even take a little bit further, even up to almost smoking point with the oil. See, we're starting to smoke just a little bit right here. That's great. Now turn it down. Then when we're doing this, it's very important, especially with smoking oil, you put the chicken in the pan, drop it away from you.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're worried about splashing yourself. Pour this over here. Make sure the oil's around the pan. And here we got that nice little sizzle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute.
That smells wonderful.
Also, a nice habit to keep when you're working at the home kitchen. Try out your utensils from raw protein to cooking protein. It's just a good habit to pick up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. You don't want to cross-contaminate.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you can see even like the flour around the sides of it, we're already starting to brown. So that tells us that on the bottom this chicken's starting to brown as well. And we can turn this temperature down a little bit. It's going to finish off. As soon as this gets to a dark brown, I'm going to know it's safe to flip it over on the other side, and then we'll pop that right in the oven. Great. We'll put this in the oven.
Just right on the pan.
Right on the pan.
Very good.
Excellent. And now we're actually going to start with our broccolini. Now I'm going to start these off in this water. With the broccolini, you don't necessarily need to start them off by boiling them, but it certainly gives them a really neat color. And as we're talking about a little flair in the kitchen, it'll really help impress people. It's all in the
presentation.
Exactly. Again, just a little bit of oil for this application is fine. These aren't big on sticking. Medium to medium high heat. in just 30 seconds to a minute, and that water is really going to soften them up a bit and brighten the color. You can see. Let me get a comparison.
Wow, they turn bright green, don't they? As a comparison, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. There
Huge
you go.
difference.
Yep. Bring out the color.
The one thing you got to be careful about when you're adding, well, these are just sitting in water. Once you add water to hot oil, it'll flame.
Okay.
You don't want that. So that's why we're not heating the oil up to a smoking point. We just still want the sizzle, but we don't want it to pop too much.
Yeah.
That's okay. See, we're starting to get a little smoking around the side. I'm going to turn it down. And I'm also going to pull this away from the flame when we put them in, because there's still water droplets, even just a little bit on here, that are going to get a little bit of a sizzle and pop, and I don't want that to turn into fire.
Sure enough, there you go.
When you put fire on your vegetables, particularly green vegetables, they turn bitter, and you get this almost barbecue flavor to them, but not the good kind. And once we have those over here, we have a little bit of garlic. I'm just going to break that, throw them right in there. I won't want these overly garlicky, but a little essence would be nice. Just a whole clove right there.
It's hard to go wrong with garlic.
It is.
It makes everything taste better.
Absolutely.
And it's the gift that keeps on giving all day long.
Now with these to saute, I'm going to go ahead and drain these potatoes off, and then we're going to add them in here. We'll add some salt and pepper. We'll deglaze with a little bit of white wine, and after the wine reduces down, we'll throw just a tiny bit of butter in there and make a light sauce out of it.
Very good. It's smelling wonderful already. You know, and you didn't put much butter in there. It's you know, it's still very, very healthy in terms of what you're eating.
Absolutely. I think we put less than a quarter ounce of butter.
Yeah.
It really doesn't take a lot to add a flavor.
Just adds a little glaze and flavor to it.
Exactly. We're just trying to coat them. We're not trying to sauce them.
Yeah.
And let's check on our chicken.
All right. Wow, that's looking really yummy.
You can always do the poke test. Usually if you see this white discharge right here,
Yeah.
that's usually a good indicator that your chicken's either near complete or is complete. I think in this case we are completely cooked.
Very nice. That smells wonderful. I know I keep saying that, but you're amazing me.
So while we're waiting for this to simmer down just a little bit, we're going to come over, we're going to cut the rosemary to finish the chicken off with, and then we'll assemble our plate.
Okay, now where's the vinaigrette come into play again?
The vinaigrette
balsamic.
actually is going to come in as a plate garnish. We're going to take it, and it's cooling down right now, and as soon as it gets to room temperature, we'll use it and just drizzle it across the plate a little bit. It's going to add some finesse, a great look, and a little bit of flavor on there without extra calories.
So Ryan, we've put together all of our stuff here. We've got it sitting on the table. It smells wonderful. My stomach's growling. How do we put it together?
Easy. Another note on finesse. We're going to start with our potatoes here. Usually put them to the top of the plate. When we're setting our plates together, one of the important things is to have direction. You don't want to have it look the same from every angle. You want to have it facing the person and having a reason for it. We'll start with our broccolini next. We're going to put all those tips facing in the same direction.
Okay, I'm going to remember that next time I pour my cereal. This looks really good.
And then we'll have our chicken breast, and we'll put that right there. And then last
So you're
but not
going with
least,
height again. I see that. You
going
said
with height. Oh yeah.
going with height.
We have our balsamic that thickened up quite a bit. You can see how it's coating the spoon.
Oh yeah, it looks like syrup.
Absolutely. And then we'll just drizzle that right around the plate.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much. This absolutely looks wonderful. You've stuck to our theme of Northwest cuisine, things within reach in a typical kitchen, easy to prepare, it seems like to me, from the novice looking in. We're ready to go.
Well, Todd, thanks for having me out here. This has been a lot of fun for me to create with this dish. And a little side note on broccolini, you know, it's really a newer vegetable. It's only been around for maybe 30 or so years. It's just a blend of broccoli and Chinese kale, but it really has that nice crisp bite like...
You know, Chef Ryan is a nice guy, but sometimes there's just a little too much information. I hope that you guys have learned something today. I know I have. This looks fantastic. I'm ready to go. Thank you for being here. Let's eat.